Hello everyone, welcome to Link program at Center for Newcomers. My name is Z. I'm going to go through this PowerPoint with you today to help you learn a little bit more about this Link program and Center for Newcomers. Center for Newcomers has been around for over 30 years. We welcome newcomers and help them settle and integrate. Together, we hope we can make a positive difference in the lives of all Calgarians. There are many programs and services offered at CFN. For example, settlement services. If you're very new to Calgary or Canada, you may want to get help from them. Or if you're interested in getting a job or getting help with resume writing or preparing a job interview, you want to talk to career counselors here. And we also offer financial empowerment services, ethnicity catering, and also volunteer development services too. There are two official languages in Canada. They are English and French. You can choose to use services in English or French. And also you can choose to learn English or French. The English class for newcomers to Canada is called Link. The French class for newcomers to Canada is called Click. You can go to this website to get to know more information about services in French. The class you're going to take at Center for Newcomers is called Link. But before I introduce Link, I want to introduce ESL first. Most of you have already heard about ESL and understand that ESL means English as a second or other language. And Link is a kind of ESL class. But Link is only for newcomers to Canada. So Link means language instruction for newcomers to Canada. All of you know that the Link classes are free for newcomers, but have you thought about who pays for you to take these classes? IRCC pays. IRCC is the short name for Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada. It is a part of the federal government. With the support of IRCC, you can take this class for free. Before you start your Link classes here, it is important for you to understand Canadian language benchmarks. In Link classes, your teacher uses the Canadian language benchmarks to plan lessons and assess your English. And you may hear your teacher use CLB or BM as the short names for Canadian language benchmarks. CLBs are used in Link and other ESL classes across Canada. Everyone has 4 CLBs. They are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. There are 12 Canadian language benchmarks, and your CLBs can be from pre-benchmark, that is 0, to CLB 12. To study at a college or university with native English speakers, what CLBs should you have? You need CLB 8 in all skills for listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Center for Newcomers currently only offers CLB 1 to CLB 4 classes, also Literacy 1 and Literacy 2 classes. Schools that offer CLB 5 classes are Bull Valley College, Columbia College, YMCA North, and TIES. After you graduate from CLB 4 classes at Center for Newcomers, please go back to CLARC, Calgary Language Assessment Referral Center, to be referred to a school which offers CLB 5 classes. If you want to become a Canadian citizen and get Canadian passport, you need to have CLB 4 in listening and speaking. So please think about your CLBs right now. Do you know your listening, speaking, reading, and writing benchmarks? So you have already learned Canadian language benchmarks. And now I want to tell you each CLB has 4 smaller parts. That means your listening benchmark has 4 smaller parts. Your speaking benchmark has 4 smaller parts. Your reading benchmark has 4 smaller parts. Also, your writing benchmark has 4 smaller parts. These smaller parts are also called skills and competencies. You probably will learn your teacher uses C to refer competencies. And the smaller parts are the ways we use English to do things in our lives. What are different ways you use English? The 4 smaller parts are: number 1, interacting with others. This is more like a social English. Number 2, understanding or giving instructions. Number 3, getting things done. This is more like giving or responding to advice, suggestions, or warnings. Number 4, understanding or giving information. Okay, let's take a look at some examples of the 4 smaller parts. The smaller part, understanding instructions in listening at CLB 1 level, would be, please close your book. At CLB 4 level would be, please close your books. We're going to the computer room now. Guprit, could you please turn off the light and close the door? Another example for smaller part, interacting with others in speaking at CLB 1 level, would be, hi, I'm Cindy. But in CLB 6, hi, my name is Cindy. This is my friend Fazana. We are new students. How long have you studied in the class? Every one of you took an English test before you registered the link class here at Center for Newcomers. And that English test is called the CLBPT, Canadian Language Benchmarks Placement Test. And was the test easy or difficult? If you did a good job, congratulations. If you didn't, that is okay, because the test is all in about 2 to 3 hours, and it is only one picture of your English. And that test may be a good picture of your English, maybe a bad picture of your English. You may want to know why I was saying the placement test can be a bad picture of your English. So let me give you some examples here. Let's say your English is not very good and you can't understand other people for most of the time. But you did a good job on the test because the questions were very easy and familiar to you. The result of the placement tests tells that your English is good, but the fact is that you can't understand other people for most of the time. So the placement test didn't tell the truth. Other example can be that your English is actually very good. You can listen, speak, read, and write very good, but you were sick and didn't feel well when you were taking the test. You didn't do a good job on the test. The test tells that your English is not good, but the fact is that you can use English very well. The placement test didn't tell the truth here as well. Once you are in class, your teacher will see more pictures of your English because your teacher definitely will be with you more than 2 or 3 hours per week. Your teacher may decide that one or more of your test benchmarks were not the best pictures of your English. Your teacher may increase or decrease one of your test benchmarks. Your teacher may talk to you about changing you to a higher or lower level class. Once you start your link class, you may ask this question a lot. When do my Canadian language benchmarks change? I'm going to tell you. When you show your teacher you can do most of the CLB skills most of the time, then your benchmark will be changed. Let's say if you are in a CLB3 class with a benchmark 2 in listening, and you show your teacher that you can interact with others, understand instructions, get things done, and understand information at CLB3 most of the time, your listening benchmark will be changed from 2 to 3. Then you may ask, how long does it take for you to get one benchmark changed? I just want to share this with you. It takes about 300 hours for an average student to learn, practice, and show the teacher that the student has the 4 smaller skills. Some students learn in more than 300 hours. Some students learn in less than 300 hours. Why it has to be 300 hours? It is because University of Calgary studied about adult link students for 2 years. That study found that, on average, an adult link student needs 300 hours of class to change one benchmark in one skill. The study also found that if you have more than 13 years of school in your first language, you may learn quickly. If you have less than 8 years of school in your first language, you may learn slowly. Okay, let's move on. Do you know what a portfolio is? Have you heard about portfolio? A portfolio is a collection of samples of your work. Portfolios are used in education across Canada and in many professions. We also use portfolios in Link. So your English portfolio is a 3-ring binder. There are different sections. For example, an index, an autobiography, your goals, your needs. You may hear your teacher say binder. So here we use binder as the simpler word for portfolio. And take a look at the picture. This is how the portfolio or binder looks like. And hopefully you will get your binder soon. Once you get your portfolio, it is your responsibility to keep your portfolio organized. So make sure you put your notes from class in your binder, but make sure you listen to your teacher's instruction. And your teacher will choose samples of your reading, writing, listening, and speaking for the assessment part of your binder. These samples will show your works in interacting with others, getting things done, understanding instructions, understanding information for listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You need 8 to 10 samples of your work for each skill in your portfolio before your teacher can think about changing your benchmarks. That means you need 8 to 10 listening samples in your binder before your teacher can think about changing your listening benchmark. You need 8 to 10 speaking samples in your binder before your teacher can think about changing your speaking benchmarks. You need 8 to 10 reading samples in your binder before your teacher can think about changing your reading benchmarks. Similarly, you need 8 to 10 writing samples in your binder before your teacher can think about changing your writing benchmark. It will take about 300 hours of class time for you to collect these samples. You should take good care of your portfolio. If you lose it, you will lose all of your work, the evidence of your language skills. You will have to buy a new portfolio binder. If you change classes or schools, you take your binder with you. Give it to your new teacher to look at, so he or she can see your English samples. Even if you're going to move from Calgary to Toronto, you take your binder with you. Give your binder to the new teacher in Toronto to see your English samples. At CFN, we offer morning link classes, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., 5 days a week, totally 15 hours per week. And afternoon classes are from Monday to Thursdays, 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., 4 days a week, totally 8 hours per week. Full-time classes, Monday to Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. On Fridays, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. 5 days a week, totally 25 hours per week. Evening classes run on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, 7 to 9 p.m. 3 days a week, totally 6 hours per week. Saturday classes are from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There will be 1 week to 3 week breaks in March, June, September, and December. Your teacher will tell you the exact dates. You may also want to know why you are placed in one CLB class, not in another one. So we place you based on your current CLB plus 1. For example, if you have 2222 in listening, speaking, reading, and writing, you will be placed in a CLB 3C class because you already know how to do CLB 2 skills. You need to learn and show your teacher you can do CLB 3 skills. When we put you in a class, we also think about how many years of school you have studied in your first language and how long you have been in Canada. In the evening program, we offer reading, writing focus class and listening, speaking focus class. If you have lower benchmarks in reading and writing, you will be placed in a reading and writing class to help you improve these skills. For example, if you have 3321, you will be placed in a CLB 2B class. Reading and writing are very important skills to be successful in Canada. Depending on your weaker skills, you will be placed in a reading writing focused class or listening speaking focused class. Once your weak skills get better, you can switch to an all skill class. You also have to know that every 10 to 12 weeks, you will have a one-on-one meeting with your teacher. You will talk about your portfolio and how you are learning English. Your teacher will talk with you about your strong English skills and your weak English skills. Your teacher will ask you if you need to stop your classes or if you need to change class times. You may get a student progress report from your teacher in about every 300 hours. Center for Newcomers also offers community-based link classes for permanent residents who are 55 and above. These classes are now available for two culture groups, Chinese group and South Asian group. Both classes run from Monday to Thursday, 9:45 to 11:45 in the morning, and both classes are at level 1/2 for listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The Chinese group class is offered at Vivo for Healthier Generation, and the South Asian group class is offered at Genesis Center. Both classes are offered with first language support. CFN, as an IRCC-funded organization, provides you various services. We will ask you to give certain personal information on behalf of IRCC for better understandings of newcomers' needs. All student information and progress reports are protected and stored in secured computer databases. This include agency database and government database. All paper copies of your information are stored in locked filing cabinets. Only you, your teacher, and link administrative staff are authorized to see it. Now I would like to introduce our link administrative staff. Charlie is the Vice President of Client Services. John and Carrie are Associate Directors of Language Programs. Marvin is the Language Programs Coordinator. Louis and Z are Language Program Associates. Sarah is our link registrar, and Sharon is the Evening Weekend Program Assistant. In the end, if you have any questions about other programs or services at Center for Newcomers, please visit our website at www.centerfornewcomers.ca. If you want to learn more about the Canadian language benchmarks, you can visit www.language.ca. If you have more questions about a link, please feel free to ask your teacher or another link staff member. This is the end of the presentation. Thank you so much for your time. We hope you enjoy learning at Center for Newcomers. Welcome.